Hi guys, welcome to our group call for the 15th of September. I hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend and a really good trading week. So we're going to jump into the updates for our system. We're going to first review some results. So let's have a look at that and see where we are at. Okay, so we're going to cover first of all our last week's performance. We're also going to cover some updates being made to the system, which will include the baseline wick trader. We're also going to look at a new chart that is going to really help you guys trade manually. So a really nice little template that you guys can set up. And we're actually going to create this on the call too, so you guys can be familiar with the setup of it and actually how to trade it. And then we're going to look at the game plan for the week ahead. All right, so first of all, our results. So we had an incredible week with the game plan. So if we look at our game plan results, you'll see we made just over $8,000 on that for the week. And there's also been some really awesome results shared by you guys in the group results all chat. Okay, so let's jump into the results. First of all, for the game plan. And let's share the screen. Okay, perfect. There we go. Okay, so started off the week, nice little run on Monday, and then ending off the week, this was 10 and 11. So these were the results that I obtained using the game plan, MNQ, RTY, the NQ, and the rest. So that's how we basically ended off for those 2 days. And then the summary of the week was just over $8,000, 119 trades in total. So a pretty awesome week in that regard. This was a bit of a strange one. We had one of the templates being just stopped out at the extremity of one tick, which was quite crazy. But anyway, that does happen. We've got to expect that. And the results. So there's been a really nice sharing of results in here. So we'll go start from the beginning of the week. Let's go. Let's see. Okay, so this is it. So thanks to the guys for posting your results. Really awesome to see the continued participation of you guys sharing there. So I really appreciate that. Mauricio, that was trading the NinjaTrader. Well done on that. And where else are we? Yeah, just some really good consistency there. So again, guys, keep at it. You know, this was Blitz sharing his results over the, and that was on your performance account. Great. So, you know, I see that you must have copied over trades from all your accounts. And also, congratulations to Debo for, passing a evaluation account. So good stuff. Love it. Love it. There's another one here. Fantastic. So really exciting to see this. So keep it up. And I'm going to monitor the group calls chat so that we can see any questions raised during the call. And then you guys can just pop in some questions over there. Excellent. Okay, great. All right, so before we jump into the updates, let's have a look at our signal chart. So this is our main signal chart that we use to show me the money. We had some really fantastic signals present early on in the session. This was at 10 past 6. Okay, price coming down. We're down 152 ticks from this value over here, from that breakout marker being left behind. And then we had a reversal over here, around about the 50, which is the 5-minute 50 Fibonacci level, we had another breakout marker being left behind over here, which resulted in a move of 190 ticks up from that marker being left behind. The price broke through this 50, which is the daily 50, and then back up here to the hourly. So this was the 23.6 hourly, and the price is kind of floating around this level here. I take it in run signal chart, similar type of look where we had, those breakout markers being left behind. So whichever signal chart you are using, there's definitely a lot of opportunity in there to enter your manual trades. Okay, so I wanted to bring up the strategies. So I'll jump out of this and we'll go to, let's just open up a new workspace. Okay. And I'll bring up a new chart. Okay. I'll just bring up any chart actually. That's whatever one is fine. Okay, so looking at our strategies, you will see that on the baseline wick trader strategy, I've reintroduced the cancel unfilled orders after X amount of bars. So what this does is it's going to, as soon as signals generate, if the positions are not filled with those limit orders, those limit orders are going to be cancelled after 30 bars have passed. So this can be used in the strategy analyzer. You can choose how many you want to exit in. This is just preventing orders from lingering, that are not filled up until the next signal. So by optimizing this, you more than likely able to get more signals. You're able to, cancel unfilled orders, at a lower rate or at a lower amount, so of bars being passed. So I've just left it out of the way for now, so leaving it at 30, and that's the default settings, and the templates that were created this week are with that value in mind. So that's the baseline wick trader. You will also see that I've re-added the SI multi-filter strategy. So this strategy here, it can enter quite a few entries. You can enter, you can set your max entries over here. And the beauty about this strategy too is it's not going to enter additional positions after the first one if the current profit and loss is lower than 0. So it's only going to enter positions when you're in profit. So this will allow you to enter multiple positions, but only when your unrealized profit and loss is in the green, which is great for the funded account programs because they kind of restrict you for entering positions when you at a loss, whereas this is going to only enter positions when the price is, or when your account is in credit, basically, or in plus. So when running the strategy on your live trading chart, it's a good idea not to add the chart indicator to the strategy. This is just to give NinjaTrader a little bit less to process. So as soon as you add indicators to a strategy on a live trading chart, NinjaTrader has to process a lot more information and show a lot more on the chart. So having charts without the indicator is nice and clean and will allow the strategy just to work effectively. Okay, so that's as far as I've done with the updates of the strategy. I've been working on the Medina Wick Trader strategy behind the scenes. I'm just not ready to release anything new on that. So you're going to find that is going to be pretty much the same. All right, so I just want to check. Oh yes, okay, so our new signal chart. So what I want you guys to do, you guys can follow along on this, which will be pretty awesome. So go to your data series, open up a new chart, and just add like a 15-minute chart. Now I know we don't necessarily trade the 15-minute charts or any of the minute charts because, that's not how we actually operate. So I'm just going to load this chart up and we'll work through it. I'm trying to remove the text from this chart. So if you ever open up a chart and you see text, you can just go to the bottom and you can actually do not plot, and that'll just hide all the information on there. Okay, so going to the indicator settings, we are going to see some the indicators listed over there, and we're going to go to the breakout box. So the breakout box indicator, for those who are not too familiar with it, what it does is you're able to select the amount of bars that the breakout is analyzing. So if we look at 4 bars, so 4 bars will be 60 minutes, right? Okay, so we're looking at this. I'm going to make the congestion box a little bit brighter and load that up. And then you'll see this. So pretty cool, because what this does is going to take the last 4 bars and it's going to highlight the top and the bottom of it, and it's going to show where the breakout of that zone is, because price is moving in ranges. It's not really moving in a time period. So a lot of people are looking at the time charts, like the 5-minute, 15-minute charts, but they're not really, they kind of are being fooled by what price is doing, because they're looking at, minute bars with long wicks and, all over the place. So we're going to just reduce the size of this one. Okay, and I'm going to put this on top of the chart, or on top of the screen like this, and drag it right across. Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate this window, and I'm going to just put it underneath in a slightly larger window like this. And what we'll do is we'll take off the indicator from here. Okay, so we'll remove that, and then we'll apply the data series, and we'll go a DTB bars, and we'll choose a 101. And we'll take break at end of day off, and we could even just put in 3 days. That'll be fine. Okay, and we're also going to just take away the text and marker for this. Now you can have markers on here, when you are trading, just to have it to show you where your actual trades are being taken place. Okay, so like I said, price is moving in ranges. Now during the US session, you might want to increase this to a 201 chart. But for this instance, during the Asian session, we will use the 100, and that will be effective for this. So I'm going to go global. So looking at the chart, you're going to see how these baselines are being formed. So you'll see price forming these baselines. And the idea behind this is to enter positions based on, where the baselines are. So if we activate our chart trader, and we can do the same on our top chart too. Okay, so the idea behind this is to actually enter a order on the baseline itself, because the prices are either going to do one of 2 things. It's either going to go up and form a new baseline, which is over here, or it's going to come down and go back to the previous baseline. So it provides you an opportunity to enter like a 50-50 risk reward position on the specific baseline. And by looking at the top chart with the breakout boxes, often you're going to see the price within ranges like this. So as you'll see, as we go back, you'll see the price is, within ranges. And what you are seeing on the top chart is going to give you a bit of a hint of what you can do on the bottom chart. So you can, see where price is in relation to the baseline and give yourself a chance of entering positions on the baseline itself, and then you can set up your ATM strategy. So like I've got like 100, which means that it'll be 100 tick stop and 100 tick target. So looking at this, you can say, okay, well, on this bar over here, is the price going to go up or is it going to go down? Now you can add supporting indicators to your chart too. So one of the most important indicators to add to your chart would be the Fibonacci levels, because that is going to show you the range of price, where it's likely to go next, where the support and resistance levels are. And that's going to give you a advantage in the market, because you're able to see where those institutional levels are and react on them. So as you can see, we're above a strong level here is a 50. Our last breakout box is green. We're currently on this. So if you were looking to enter a position over here, I would say this would be a long opportunity. So you can enter your buy limit on this, like this. And then what will happen is when this trade fills, it's going to have a target of 100, which will be over here, and it's going to have a stop over there. So by approaching your manual trading this way, you are not forcing, or you're not jumping into positions unnecessarily. You're not chasing the market. You're applying it in a very sensible way. And as we know, the price is either going to go back down to the previous baseline, or it's going to go to the new baseline. There's nothing else it can do. So when you're looking at like a 15-minute chart, you don't really know where the baselines are in price. You don't really know where the levels are in price. But this approach here is giving you a very clear indication of where your entry should be. So, some people might decide, we'll chase for a smaller target. You might say, well, I'm going to go for like a 40 target. But I would encourage you guys to, expand your targets to the next baseline. So you're giving yourself a decent amount of room for price to move. And, it's a very sensible approach, because, you're not trying to scalp the market and chase every single entry to be 100% profitable. Because remember, if you're scalping the market with a small target and a small stop, there's a high likelihood there's going to be a lot of stop outs happening. Whereas with this approach, you can still look at your chart, and if you want to have an additional chart in your top window, you could add one of your signal charts over here. So you can go to your template, you can go load, and you can load up one of your signal charts. So if we go to like show me the money, and we'll add that one on over there, that will show me the money signal chart. And then you'll want to have this obviously on like the DTB bar. So this could be like a 2020, which is perfectly fine for this. And again, we'll just add a little bit more days on there. Being a Sunday, we need to have a bit more data on there. But during the week, you can add 0 days or 1 days, because you don't want to have too much data on your chart. You don't need to have a lot of data on your chart. So just, on a Sunday, you might want to add 3. As Monday comes along, you can make that a 1. And, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday onwards, especially trading the US session, you can actually make that a 0. And that just allows, the charts to be as much or as little data as possible. Okay, so you're looking at that. Currently the price is in, it's above a strong level. There's a little bit of divergence that happened on top there. We almost had a wick go all the way to the top. So as you are looking at at these charts and you're looking at signal charts, you can also trade back towards the baseline, but it's, it becomes a bit tricky when you're entering trades on a wick. So especially for the new guys, it's a very good idea to have a system in place where you know exactly where you're going to enter your positions. And by entering them on the baseline, that is a really good rule to have, because it's a very simple and effective way, to know exactly where your entries are going to be, where your stops are going to be, and where your targets are going to be. So I really like this, and I think it's going to help you guys quite a lot, and you might want to start this on the MNQ. So if you don't want to trade the larger contracts like the NQ, and you want to experiment with this initially, you might want to put this on MNQ. Especially if you've got smaller accounts. If you've got an account of, whatever, $300 to $1,000, or even up to $2,500, you really want to have a system in place where you're not going to be over trading. So you're not going to be entering NQ trades on an account of like $2,000, right? But if you're trading one of these funded account programs and you've got a drawdown of $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever, this approach is very effective. So, and it's very simple too. I mean, you can see exactly where the baselines are, and you can look at different signals on the charts and enter like, excuse me. So I think this is going to be a beautiful approach for you guys. And like I said, during the US session, you could switch this to a 200 chart. And when you do that during the session of the US session, you can actually add the Medina wick trader strategy to the chart. And this will allow this will allow you to be able to trade the price back towards the baseline if you want to activate the Medina. But initially, get to understand how this works. And I mean, the whole time, all the time, the price is either going to do one of two things, right? Now, obviously, the smaller the baseline you go, the more baseline breaks you're going to have. So if I had to go and convert this to a larger baseline, so say, for example, I take this to like a 400 baseline, and this is add a few more days. And for some, during the very volatile sessions of the US session, you're going to have, a lot larger wicks. But notice how the price is forming these baselines. Look at, this specific baseline that we're looking at right now, the current baseline that we are on, it basically was there since the 13th. Well, this was Friday, right? From 10:40 a.m. So this is what I'm saying is, the price is traveling in ranges. It's not really traveling. It's not really, working in minute bars or anything like that. The price is traveling in ranges, and it's got these baselines where these are specific levels where price is going to. So you're going to notice that, trading up these, you're going to see these baselines form. And obviously the larger baseline you go, you could even switch to a much larger baseline if you're trading under a much larger period. So, you can go as far as you want, and you can even go a trending baseline or instead of the flat baseline. But sometimes, let's go to a 600. So, this is to chase much larger ticks, and the exact same principle applies. The price is either going to return to this baseline, or it's going to go up and form a new baseline. So whichever chart you are working off, the same principle applies. And, this is the range of price, what the price is doing in those ranges. Okay, so, that was that. That's the 400. So we're back over here at the 100. Okay, so there's our baseline, right? So I hope you guys find this useful. And this you don't have to specifically wait for for your stop to be hit. So if you're looking at a signal chart and the price is breaking through a significant Fibonacci level, then you can exit the position too. There's no reason for you to, I can guarantee you now with a high accuracy percentage rate that when the price breaks a strong level like the 50, I mean, that is a very, very, very significant level. If it breaks through, it's more than likely going to run up until the next level. So that is what price is constantly doing. It's constantly trading in different ranges. So don't be fooled by looking at, a minute chart and trying to make decisions based on what you're seeing on a minute chart, because, a minute chart is basically there. It's basically designed to confuse you and throw you off. Okay. At the end of the day, we are looking at ranges. Okay. So I love this approach. And like I said, during the US session, you might want to switch this to a 200. You've got a lot of great opportunity here to be able to, enter positions based on, the size of those baselines. And, you're not entering a lot of trades, right? Because you're making informed decisions on the specific baseline. Okay. So any questions on that, or you guys it's pretty self-explanatory, right? I'll just take off the crosshair over here, make it back to local. So I mean, it's quite obvious, right? The price is either going to come back down here, or it's going to go up there. That's it. Nothing else. There's nothing else the price can do. I mean, so it provides a very simple alternative than trying to enter trades on like a 5-minute or a 15-minute candle and then trying to predict, where should we put our stops? I mean, because as you can see, these 15-minute candles, all these different candles that they have, they're literally designed to knock you out. I mean, it is so confusing looking at a 15-minute chart or 5-minute chart and then trying to predict where the price is. And of course, looking at different candlestick analysis and things like that. I mean, it's all designed to confuse you. And if you remember from last week's call, I said that, all candlestick patterns and all chart formation patterns that exist are only about 60%, correct. And out of the 60%, only 30% will actually go and hit your targets without having a major whipsaw to go and, stop you out. So it's extremely, extremely difficult to predict price movement and rely on chart patterns. So you can, let this run, let it just, continue, because it's either going to hit its stop or its target. And you've got a good, nice range of price to work with. And if you really, really want to be on top of things and you want to analyze what's happening on your signal chart, because remember on the signal chart right now, we kind of are in seller's territory. So when the bars are gold, you know that the price is in seller's territory, but we're also looking at different levels of price. So very informative, looking at the signal charts to determine what you are going to do on the baseline. So important part again is enter positions on the baseline. And at least that gives you a bit of a range, for price to move around. And then, like I said, when significant levels are broken on this, you can cut your trading losses by exiting your positions when substantial levels have actually been broken. Cool. So we'll leave that. We'll leave this chart, and I'm going to go back to my control panel and go back to our game plan. So if you guys run your script, you'll see that the game plan has been updated. So if we go to our game plan chat on Discord, I always put a an update in there. So if you guys are interested in running the game plan, I always put an update in there to say, that it's ready for the week ahead. So I woke up a bit earlier this morning just to do the game plan. And, even though we had an exceptionally brilliant high performance week last week and, making a considerable amount on that, what I wanted to do for this week's game plan, and I'll just click on the link. So again, the link to the game plan is over here. And this is a publicly accessible link. So anybody can actually look at this link. I just made it like that for transparency. So anybody who's interested in the DTB system can actually, just look at that link. So if you click on that link, it's going to bring you to our game plan, and I'll just bring it up on a separate window over here. Okay, so this is what our game plan looks for the week ahead. So 16 to 20. It's always a good idea to read the instructions for the game plan, because it tells you exactly how to set it up, what assembly you should be on. It gives you specific instructions on how to, set it up and make sure that it's ready. Okay, so what I've done this week is I've created a very low risk and also low reward game plan. So we're not chasing many thousands of dollars this week. And the idea behind this is I want to make sure that every single person who is trading these charts and is trading, these strategies is able to consistently make gains with the system. And, this is trading on the MNQ and MGC this week. Now, some of you may choose to, run these MNQ templates and then copy trade them to NQ, which is fine, happy to do that. But, these are just nice little simple templates. And what I've done is I've only put in a few days of data. So there's not a lot of data loaded up on the chart. So if you guys go and run your script and, make sure NinjaTrader is closed so the workspace can be there. So the workspace, is in there. So as soon as you run your script, it's the same name every week too. So if you might even have last week's one, you want to make sure that you still close NinjaTrader and then you run the script so that it can update the workspace. So, there's our workspace for the week. As soon as you activate the workspace, it's going to bring up these charts. So you'll see there's 2 MNQ charts and 2 MGC charts. So going to the first chart, you're going to go to your strategies. Now I'm just connected to my kinetic feed at this stage, but you basically load the strategy that's matching on the game plan. You go to your templates and you go load, and then you're going to see the actual templates there. Now I've used templates that have been provided by Christopher. So some of the templates this week are using templates provided by Christopher. So I've just renamed them so that it keeps it in line with with what I have in the script. So thanks, Christopher, for providing those templates and working with them. They're really helpful. They've been very successful on your side. So, I don't have a lot of time to go and do a whole lot of optimizations myself. My time is better spent just working on the back end of the system, making sure everything is working as it is. But you'll notice that there's the first one, right? So MNQ 50/30, 25 August, it's got the size 3 and 5, and this is trading 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. So exactly what the game plan is telling you here. So at the beginning of the game plan, it's telling you there that, these are the charts that you're going to be using. So MNQ 50/30, and this is the template you're going to be using. When you load up the strategy, that's what it's going to look like. So if I go and load this up now, and I go and activate this, and I'll just choose this account. Okay, so as soon as you load that up, you'll see that it's got the drawdown, the profit, and you'll see that will actually match what the game plan is showing. Okay, so I put that in there, and then you can look at the historical performance. Now it's only got a few days because even though we optimize much larger periods, we only need to load a few days of data on the chart because the last few days will match up. So even if you load 30 days or 40 days or 50 days, starting from a Monday, we want to make sure that the previous day's results are lining up with the strategy performance. So we've done that for that one, and there's another MNQ. This one here is a 2020 using the analytical strategy. So that one there, this specific one is trading from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Doesn't say that in the description, but that's what that one is. Actually, it does at the top of the chart. So at the top of the chart, you will see, in small writing over there, DTB analytical strategy. It's got a daily target, a daily stop. It's got a setting A, setting B. It's got your start time, and it's got your stop trading time. So that's your 9 till 11 a.m. trading template. So again, you can load that up, and then you can also look at the historical performance of that. Again, we're only loading up a few days. And that applies to all of them. We've even got the MGC over here, which is also a 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. template. This one is pretty cool too. This one's been extremely consistent. And the same template that we used last week. So the MGC template has been extremely effective. And I've actually had 100% accuracy on that template over the last week. So I've used the same template that I used last week. So it's a pretty effective template. It's not as you can see, it's not a huge money spinner. Now, you'll see that, like this one here is only $500 over the period, but this strategy is only entering one micro lot. So it's entering up to 2 positions. So up to 2 positions, and they're only going to be 1 and 1. So that is the size of, those trades. Now the analytical strategy, if I bring that up on here, so we'll load it up on the strategies. So you'll see you've got, this is the analytical strategy with the one on the game plan. It's got your start time, your end time, and we've got the settings over there. I just want to see, there is a trade size. So there is a trade size in here. So you'll see that this is set to 1. Now, if you want to run some optimizations or if you want to increase the trade size, you can certainly do that over here. So, your optimization is good for that. So if you want to enter larger positions, if you still want to enter the 2 positions, but make these as a 3 and a 3 or a 4 and a 4 or 5 and a 5, whatever you want to do, you can certainly do that with this, but I've kept it very conservative. So I've tailored the game plan this week to those that have got smaller accounts, and that'll just help you guys tick along and build up your trading accounts. But also, for those who are copying to like their NQ or GC, it's a great way too. So, even though this is trading on MNQ and MGC, you can copy trade these with one of your trade copiers to the larger contracts. Now, I am in the process of also building my own trade copier within the strategies, but it's quite a huge undertaking. So it's taking me a while to actually get that all working properly as it should. But in the meantime, you can see it's pretty conservative over here. I'll just activate this strategy. So that was number 2. So like that, so that's that template, right? It's matching exactly the same as the game plan is showing. So as soon as you load up the template, you should be able to see the same settings in there. And, you should be able to look at the historical performance like this and compare it to your game plan. So if you right click on your chart, strategy performance, real time and historical, those are going to match. Now, don't worry too much if there's a day or two that are not matching 100% on your data, because remember, we're dealing with retail data here. We're dealing with bottom of the barrel data from our data providers. Unfortunately, we're not on a level playing field with the banks and institutions who are paying anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 a month for their data and having extremely accurate data. But there may be some discrepancies between some of the days, but if you can see consistency between the last days loaded, then you know that you're on the right track. All right, so that is as far as that goes. And you know what? I don't actually have too much more to cover. So a nice short call today, 40 minutes. And if there's any other questions, you can let me know. And of course, during the week, if there's any further updates or anything, that is, required, or any, questions that you guys have, just pop them through. I think that is it. So again, definitely, I'm really excited about, about working on this. Okay. And I mean, look at the power of these signal charts. There's your 50 level, and you've got an arrow immediately off that 50 level. So keep it simple at this moment by entering positions on the baseline. If you're a bit more advanced and you're a little bit more, in tune with the signal charts, and that you can also go and enter positions on the wick in the same direction. So you could have entered an extra position over here. But, in the beginning stages, try keep it nice and simple by entering on the baseline. And you're going to see you're going to have incredible accuracy with that. And like I said, if this price had broken through this, then it's just best to exit it, right? So you could have exited it at 80 ticks stop instead of 100 ticks. So that way you're able to limit your specific, limit your exposure to the market. But, always look at your signal charts and look at your breakout, look at your breakout box. It's a very cool box, this. It's really informative to give you insight into where price is in relation. Is it currently within a congestion zone? Is it currently in a breakout area? So by evaluating this, as well as evaluating your signal chart, you've got incredible opportunities here to enter the market. And not only did we have our 50 fib level over here, but we also had another breakout marker that serves as support and resistance. So we've got tremendous opportunity to enter the market at various points. So for those scalping, you can very easily secure 20, 30, 40 ticks worth of profit on this, because these signals are so goddamn strong and so incredibly powerful. I want to have a look at one thing here quickly. So, if you're unsure of, which Fibonacci levels are in play, you can bring up your Fibonacci levels indicator. And this will tell you over there the different colors. So there's and it's actually the 4 hour. So there's your 4 hour green Fibonacci. So, it's a very strong level. So they are color coded for a reason, because you got up to monthly, you got weekly, you got 4 hours, you got your dailies, 60 minute, 5 minutes. So they are extremely powerful tools to work with. And, very often when you get an arrow on a Fibonacci level like that, the price is going to shoot up. And that's kind of exactly what we are seeing over here. But, seeing that on a minute chart, if you look at that, if you look at this on a minute chart, how, it's a lot more difficult to enter positions on a minute chart, you know, for the reasons that we've discussed, and especially, you know, where do you put your stops? You know, most people looking at this, if they were trading a 15-minute chart, they would put their stop below this level. Now that's an incredible distance away from price. So, you know, having it like that is a lot more effective. Great. So that is it from me, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead, and I look forward to seeing your continued results being posted. And let's kick ass, right? Let's kick ass. Okay, guys, have a fantastic week, and we shall chat soon. Cheers.